Greetings, Twin Flames. This is Lucida of Twin Flame RX, and I'm here on Monday, September 24th, 2018, with a weekly reading for Twin Flames. And this reading is dated from today, the 24th of September, 2018, to the 30th of September, 2018, which is a Sunday. But take the parts that resonate whenever you land on this reading, because it may have some nuggets of information that you were called to listen to if you clicked on the video. So thank you for joining. For those who like, share, comment, and subscribe, keep doing that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. I'm a Twin Flame. I've been working on this divine mission for the last 2 years almost. It'll be 11/11/2018, the 2-year anniversary of the channel started by myself and my beloved with our first video together. We are in separation now, but in communication, so I do understand the journey. I've been a psychic all my life, an intuitive, and a tarot reader for the last 25 years, and a lot of experience under my belt doing readings for others, not just Twin Flames, but just others on all situations. And in the last 2 years, I really specialized for Twin Flames and for this ascension path, so helping others on this path. So usually I start the reading with an affirmation from Doreen Virtue's Angel Affirmation calendar, and then we do a tarot reading. Today's cards are the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa Decort, because today, the 24th, tonight was the full moon. So the full moon is in Aries, so it's very action-oriented sign, and this happens about like 8:30 Central Time, I believe, or 9:30 Eastern Time. So then, that's in the United States. But this full moon energy is going to be around for the next few days, so it's a great time to release energies, people, situations, thoughts, and things that no longer serve you, and to move forward. So we do have some energy cards that I had prayed upon and also meditated, then drew with divine guidance for divine feminine, masculine, and the union, and then some cards to close the reading. And at the very end, I always do a Reiki healing energy transmission, a short one for you and your beloved and your union. So stick with me till the end to see that. And if you have any questions or want to book a service, you can check out our website, twinflamerx.com, or look in the description box below for a lot more options and social media links. So let's get started with this affirmation. It says, "We now release all forms of anxiety in exchange for feelings of security, safety, and peace." And really, that's important to do, because the only reason why we're really feeling anxious is because we're worrying about the future, when we should be really living in the present. And releasing this energy is going to bring in new energies and raise our vibration, possibly, if we're bringing in new, healthier, higher vibrational energies, like the energies of love, peace, joy, and illumination. So let's remember to release those negative energies or energies that are no longer serving us. And as we do that, I am shuffling the cards. We just experienced on the 22nd, a few days ago, in North America and the Northern Hemisphere, the autumnal equinox, which is the equal night and day length. Same in the Southern Hemisphere, except those in that hemisphere are experiencing more spring-like weather. So as we shuffle these cards, we're asking Divine Source to bring us some messages and energies that are going to be important for us this upcoming week, for ourselves and our beloved. And just remember to take the parts of the reading that resonate and just ignore the rest. So one more shuffle and then we'll look at the bottom of the deck, overall energy. That's the energy for all Twin Flames at this time, and it's a really good energy, the 7 of Wands. It's about valor, so feeling passionate and, feeling that this journey is worth it, even though it's difficult, even though we've had struggles. We as a collective are here for a special mission and purpose, and so, we are going to persevere. All right, so the card that starts the reading is the Three of Cups, or the Abundance card. It also could mean an abundance of people, you know, in your relationship, for if you have a third party situation going on. Let's look at what crosses that, which is like an obstacle or something that would bring the situation forward. And we have the Four of Wands, or completion. So actually, this to me is saying that if there was a third party situation, that situation is being revisited now and also being looked at, and the two twins are asking to have the contract of the karmic partners, the third parties, canceled and releasing them so that the two twins can come together. That's the energy that most of us are in. If our twin is like even in a situation where they're addicted to a substance or they have a bad habit, that could be considered a karmic cycle as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person as a third party, but some other influence. The best outcome for this upcoming week for us is Virtue with the Three of Wands. So this is a real positive energy. It could symbolize, for two wands, the two twins, and then that third wand is their third energy that they bring in when they come together. So the co-creation of the third energy, which is the energy of creation and the energy of like projects and mission and purpose and having children and a family and just anything that the two twins create. So the two twins want to get into that dynamic where they're able to come together and be inspired by each other and create with each other. And what twins have to work with this week is this Ten of Wands oppression energy, where we're just feeling that this journey is really tough and that, you know, we might need a break. But if we release the feelings of oppression and kind of not focus on them and focus on the positives of the journey, we'll be feeling a lot better. But we could release those stressful energies with this full moon. Okay, so what we have in the recent past is swiftness with the Eight of Wands. It also could symbolize many shifts and changes in the energy around us that have maybe been positive or negative shifts. With the full moon, the shift should be to release negativity, to release anything that's no longer serving us. So you could write a list of things that you would like to release and then burn that list in the moonlight and intend that those energies be removed from your experience so that you could bring in more positive energies in their place. So that's what you want to be working on within the next couple of days. It would be a good idea to do that. And what's interesting is there's a lot of Wands energy this week. So that means that we're kind of like resetting, because the Wands are the first suit. And you need to have that energy of the Wands, the fire and the passion, before you could actually go into that Cups energy, which is the unconditional love energy. All right, we have the Princess of Swords in the near future. So this card could symbolize or stand for or represent that either you or your beloved is going to want to communicate in some way with the other. There could be telepathic communication by air with the sword. It's an air energy. We also have that butterfly there, which is a transformation. So this is kind of saying that, you know, there have been some changes because of the shifts in the energy and the clearing of the twins and the progress on the journey and the opening up of the chakras and balancing and the awakening of both twins really to their spirituality, that is going to cause them to want to communicate, but it may not be the most eloquent of communications. So if you haven't heard from your beloved, you may be hearing from them. Or if you never met them, maybe you're going to get a message from them in your dream space, or you might hear telepathic messages from them. I know I did before actually physically meeting my twin. I heard their voice. They told me they loved me when I was like in a negative situation. And I knew that there was someone out there looking for me just as I was looking for them. I did not even know what a twin flame was at the time. I mean, I always had soulmates that I connected with. And at that time, there was just this new voice letting me know that there was something more. And so you may get communication like that, or you may get the traditional type of communication. Either way, we know that communication is awesome. When we get that communication, it's confirmation that we're not like going crazy. All right, so how do we see ourselves? Well, we see ourselves this week as Two of Wands, Dominion energy, so we're in control. Again, we've got the wands, so there's that fiery passion, and then we're holding on to our beloved's wand, and we know that we're going to be able to hand the baton over to them very soon, so we're trusting in the process. And how others see us is Queen of Cups, so they see us as like very giving, unconditionally loving, caring, a nurturer. They see all of us twin flames as light workers, people that care about others and people that have a lot of love to give. Now, what we are hoping for or against, we're hoping for our King of Pentacles to be there, or for ourselves to be the King of Pentacles, which means that, this is a person who's stable and committed and has good resources because they worked really hard for them in the physical world. So we're finally getting a physical plane card here, because a lot of the wands energy is more of a spiritual type of energy, or a passion or a spirit or a fire that you have inside of you, a determination. So basically, we want to become that King of Pentacles energy. We want to become the most stable individual in the tarot deck besides the Emperor. What we have here for the end of the week is, and the outcome is, the High Priestess type energy. So both ourselves and our beloved are learning to trust in our higher wisdom, learning to trust in our intuition, learning to connect to the divine. And we have the black and the white column there representing the yin and yang energy as well. So that tells me that by the end of the week, we're going to achieve some new type of balance with our beloved, new type of complementation with our beloved, where we're going to be able to recognize that the things that we thought were differences maybe are the things that balance us out or complement each other and make the relationship work instead of make it hard. So those are some positive things to look forward to. I'm going to pull one other card just to kind of clarify the ending for the week. Wow, we got some interesting energy here. The Truce energy, or Four of Swords. So you might be led to follow your intuition to reach out to your beloved. I don't recommend that for all twins, but only those that are really called to maybe let their beloved know that they forgive them. But for the most part, a lot of my clients should be waiting. If you're a client of mine, waiting to hear from their beloved. I usually don't give the advice of contacting, because I usually deal with a lot of the chasers, so to speak, or the twins that are, thinking that they're more awakened and know the process and want their twin to heal and want to speed things up. But if your divine counterpart is in hiding or not speaking or communicating, then it's really important to let them go through their process and let them contact you when they're ready to talk, because the thing is, if you do kind of contact them when they're not ready, it's going to prolong your process. And I do have to admit that I have done that with my own union and with my own twins. So, I've made a lot of mistakes, and what I try to help twins see is, the things that I know are kind of a mistake to do. I will let you know so you don't make the same mistakes. And I've had to learn these things and make the mistakes as part of my mission, because my mission is to be there to help you through the process. So I've had to suffer a lot myself. Okay, I have the energy cards. We have Divine Masculine here on my right side and Divine Feminine here, and then some energy cards for the union as well, and a message from your beloved's higher self to you, which we'll get to that. All right, we'll start with the Divine Feminine this week. We have two cards. We have the Soul Journey card for the 5D, or the soul energy of Divine Feminines this week, and then and that's by James van Praagh. And then we have the Power of Love activation cards, also by James van Praagh, but this is for the 3D energy, which is like the mind and the heart energy of the divine. This is feminine for the upcoming week. So we'll start with the soul energy, because the soul energy has to trickle down for the divine feminine from the higher dimensions into her 3D consciousness or his 3D consciousness. And This week we have the Divine Feminine Soul urging them to trust and accept that their inner voice will always guide them correctly. So that message of listening to intuition that we saw in the tarot, that was really important for us, so that we would, be listening to our intuition. So that goes along with this message here of trust. Now I can't find the card. Okay, well, you remember there was that tarot card, the 2, which is the High Priestess, the Major Arcana, which was about trusting your intuition. So that's really important message there. This week, there will be things coming up that you may or may not believe. Others might tell you gossip or lies about your beloved possibly, and what you need to do is trust that your connection is strong, stronger than anything you see in the 3D. I've been getting a lot of twins talking to me about things they see on social media about their twin or their twin with other people. And you just need to follow what your gut, your intuition, what that inner voice says about it. And then I could always help you with a private reading, of course, but ultimately you have to know the truth within you. Same thing with if someone's your twin or not, you will know by your intuition about your connection more than any other person. All right, and the 3D energy, wow. So the 3D energy is trust again. So this means that that information from the Divine Feminine Soul is going to trickle into the Divine Feminine's consciousness very strongly this week. And the mind of the Divine Feminine and the heart of the Divine Feminine, conscious 3D person is going to realize that they are developing along the way of this journey the strong connection to their soul's loving voice or higher self, and they're going to realize that this has been a journey for them to be able to trust their intuition, that sixth sense, that deep inner knowing, that's one of the major lessons that we learn on this journey. So it's not always about getting into union with another person. It's about learning to trust ourselves and learning to trust the divine guidance that's provided to us by our higher self and the divine and angels and things like that, or beings, I should say. Now we have the divine masculine energy represented by this stone here with the 2 energy cards. The soul energy first we'll look at. So the divine masculine soul energy for this week is urging them to surrender, to release their need to control the situation. So a lot of divine masculines do this pacing thing where they buy time with, contact, and then there's a drop off, and then there's contact again, but it's sporadic and intermittent. And this is a way that they do control things. I mean, even if it's not them consciously controlling it, it could be their higher self is urging them to pull away at times. And that could be so they can complete parts of their journey. But, their soul is saying it's time to surrender, and we're going to stop doing that because it's time to start making our way into union. So the divine masculine soul is going to start trusting the divine now with the rest of the journey. And the 3D, or the mind and heart, as well as the body of the divine masculine energy for this upcoming week, is about self-love, that they need to realize that loving themselves is first and foremost before they can love another person, and that is what they're working on this upcoming week. So, in order for divine masculine to fully embrace that, the divine feminine should also be working on loving themselves, focusing on themselves, because that's what's going to inspire the divine masculine to continue to work on themselves and to love themselves so that they can understand what it means to love another. All right, for both twins, we have soul energy or 5D energy represented here by this card talking about guilt. So for both twins this week, there's going to be a release of beliefs that no longer assist in their soul's growth, and one is guilt. So I was talking to my sibling this week, and we were just talking about things that we felt guilty about, and a lot of mine had to do with things that happened when I was a child that caused other people harm. So, I used to I used to like want to feed cats. So I would disobey my guardian and bring the cat milk, but basically like spilled it as I went down the stairs. I was like 4 years old, and then the spilled milk caused people to fall down the stairs. A particular person to fall down the stairs. So, I mean, I feel bad about that still, and I'm an adult. So my sister said, I can't live like that anymore. I need to release that. So there might be things like that, or even about your connection that you wish you didn't say something or do something. You're being urged to release that guilt now because it doesn't serve you to move you forward, to keep that energy alive. So if you release that with the full moon, that would be really good for you to release any guilt about the situation, about anything in your life that you feel that about, because it's just going to be like a weight lifted off your chest. And with that, your mind and your heart and the 3D could feel empathy then. You're going to be able to understand the emotions of others in the service of love. So that would be, maybe this is also trying to say that our divine counterparts have a lot of guilt. They feel a lot of guilt. I've been getting a lot of guilt in readings that the divine masculine actually is feeling really guilty for how they treated the divine feminine. The divine feminine could be, embracing this empathy for them, but then also because the divine masculine has been feeling this guilt, they have been able to put themselves in the shoes lately of the divine feminine. And do feel the guilt because they put themselves in the divine feminine shoes and now kind of feel like, bad and remorseful about how they went about their part of the journey at times. But remember, this is all part of our soul plan, so we need to forgive each other, and forgiveness is a foundational aspect of unconditional love. So, we're called to forgive, we're called to love one another unconditionally, which means without condition. So no matter, what they do to us, it doesn't mean that we need to stay with them if they're treating us like a doormat, but it means that we could love them from afar. So that's something to think about. A message from your counterparts, higher self to you, is represented by this Lover's Oracle card from Toni Carmine-Salerno. It says, the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So yeah, like you might feel like a new path is happening, but it could be a detour, but it could also be somewhere that when you were trying to control the situation, remember, release control. When you were trying to control the situation, you may have thought that going a certain way is going to take you off course, where if you're getting guided to go that way, then it is the place to go. And also, like, release your past so that you can embrace new possibilities. The new path might lead to a new beginning with you and your beloved. You never know. So you really need to follow what you feel and believe is so in your heart. All right, I have the 2 last cards. These are the kind of inspiration and motivation cards we have the Kuan Yin Oracle and Archangel Michael. Kuan Yin, our divine feminine representative, and Archangel Michael representing divine masculine. We have those polarities within each of us. So Kuan Yin's message for this week is many hands of the goddess. So the goddess Kuan Yin brings blessings to multiple projects in many different parts of your life and consciousness, beloved. She is not limited to one task at a time, so do not be afraid to surrender into her guiding wisdom and creative genius, for there is much that you can accomplish together, and she is assisting you now. So I believe there was a surrender message here for the divine masculine. They're being asked to surrender, release the need to control, and leave it to the divine. So whatever divine deity or being that you ask for help, they need your permission to help. So whether it's Archangel Michael, who I ask for help every day, to help guide me on the journey and to help do healings with myself and clients, or whether it's Kuan Yin, or it could be source or God himself or herself, Mother Earth, Father Sun, whatever the deity is that you look to, or your own guides or higher self. Basically, leave this to divine or multidimensional consciousness to help you, because you're seeing a limited perspective here in the 3D, and I am too. We all are. All right, Archangel Michael is our last card, and then I'm going to send you some Reiki healing. Archangel Michael's message right now is to try and detach from your situation. So detachment just means that you are not going to let your emotions get all roller coastered around, that you are going to kind of remain objective and observe your divine counterpart. And when everything seems to be balanced out between the two of you, then you can emotionally connect. But there are times in the journey where if you do connect emotionally to your beloved, they're going to disappoint you, and it's part of the journey and maybe part of your lesson, and maybe it was meant to trigger so that you could heal. But Archangel Michael is letting us know that at this time, if we detach, it's going to help our situation and move it forward. And then there's that prayer there. So as I read the prayer, I'm going to be sending you some Reiki healing for yourself and your beloved. The prayer is, Archangel Michael, we ask you to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama, so that we may be centered in the knowledge or the knowingness that peace is everywhere within us and within our beloved and within our union and within the path to our union, which is a divinely willed path. And I'm sending you this Reiki healing energy so that you can detach appropriately from your beloved and the situation enough to allow it to unfold without your human mind trying to control it, and allowing the divine to come in and intervene and allow this union to come to fruition the way that it was meant to be according to your divine soul plan, so that the two of you may be living in accordance to your highest good and the highest good of all. So I'm sending you this Reiki blessing and healing, and hoping that you have a beautiful week. Let me know how it goes. Hope to help you along your journey, and have a great week. Namaste.